Well, look who decided to show up. How you guys doing? It's Chuck here with some more Chuck's Raw reviews. Really excited. As always, I have a really good fucking book for you guys today. Super excited. Before we get started, I always forget about this. Please hit subscribe if you're interested in checking out more of my reviews where I talk about awesome indie comics that I've read and been able to check out. I am that guy who I do positive reviews. That doesn't mean that I tell you that everything is good. If it's shit, I just don't talk about it. So if it's been mentioned on my show, I genuinely enjoyed it. So I think that's a big deal, because I hear a lot of people bitching and saying, oh, everybody likes everything. No, I don't like everything. You're just not hearing about the shit I don't like, because I don't think I need to talk about it. I don't need that negativity in my life, and I certainly don't need to bring that in, bring that negativity into my playground. I'm just not interested. So with that, we're brimming with some fucking positivity. And I'm going to tell you all about Russell Nolte's Ichabod Jones. I was not sure about this one. You guys hear this from me all the time. Anybody who's watched my videos, I'm so boring. I'll admit it. When it comes to art, I'm very boring. I'm not a weird guy. I like, kind of the straightforward, this is how a person's supposed to look, all that kind of stuff. And so when things get a little weird, I'm going out of my, the more and more I get into indie comics, the more I'm used to seeing weird. And what Russell Nolte does and loves is weird. That's his thing, and so that was something I had to prepare myself for. And I remember hearing about Ichabod Jones, and I'd never read it, and so he has a Kickstarter for issue 5 out right now. I would love for you guys to go check it out. But when he came to me and said, hey man, would you review the book? I was like, all right, but I need to see all of it. Like, I'm a completionist. I want to read all of it. So he was good enough to give me all of the previous books, which I'm really happy, because it was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. It was terrific. Ichabod Jones. We're finally getting to it. 2.5 minutes in. Ichabod Jones is done by Russell Nolte and his artist Renzo Podesta. Yes, got that without even... It's here, but I wasn't looking at it at the time. It was here. It's created by them, and Ichabod Jones is basically a man. He's a monster hunter. It's Ichabod Jones Monster Hunter. But the thing is that he either actually is a monster hunter, or he's just crazy as fuck. And we're not completely sure. And I know a lot of times people are like, well, if you're not sure, maybe that's bad writing. But no, this is like, you're not sure, and it's good writing. We know that we're not supposed to know yet, and we're excited. It's very difficult to properly write mystery, so that people don't know what's going on, but they know that they know enough. And that's the fine line that Russell is skirting the whole time that he's writing this piece. Is we know as much as we're supposed to know, and that part makes sense. But then there's all this stuff that we don't know, but we're not bogged down by it, and that's a really big deal. And so it all starts with him. He's in a sanitarium, and he's having issues, and then there's kind of like almost like a blank, like there's a switch, and there's almost like say like a Silent Hill sort of thing, no cool air raid sirens or anything like that, just sort of a switch goes off, and he's kind of in that other world. And so we have this sort of two worlds sort of going on, and we're not sure which one's the real one, and what's real and what's fantasy. I love that a lot, and I love that we basically been teased that in this next string of books we're supposed to find out which one is real and which one isn't, and that's really cool. Another thing is that, so he's crazy, like he may not actually be crazy, but there's certainly, he has a voice in his head that he listens to, and that voice, as I read it, I got really I think I might have. You ever read something and you feel like you went way too in depth? I feel like when I read Ichabod Jones, I felt like it was an allegory for the writer's voice, wherein we as writers kind of have this two voice, the voice of the writer inside who says, no, this is how it's got to happen, this is the right way to go, blah blah blah, do this. And then there's that other side that kind of goes, yeah, but you know, we have fans to think about and an audience and that kind of stuff, and the writer's voice is like, yes, but you need to do this, trust me, this is the right way to go. And so to me, that kind of felt like that was the allegory that I got, and it was really cool. There was actually one really neat spot where because Ichabod Jones wants to be a hero. As much as he's cowardly and afraid, when he has to go down to it, he does what he thinks is right, or what he thinks he has to do. And it's very gruesome, by the way. It's you know, he's making he's making ropes out of intestines, monster intestines and shit, like all sorts of disgusting stuff. But it's cool gross, and it's not. It's gross in a fantasy way where like it just makes sense, and you're like, ew, but okay, yeah, okay, I get it, I'm buying it, let's go. And there was this one really cool spot that I loved where the voice in Ichabod's head was like, you need to kill this fucker, you need to fucking kill this dude. And he's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I can't do that, this is wrong, I'm the hero, no. And then later on we kind of find out, if you had killed him, things might have been a lot easier and you'd be okay now. And I kind of like that, because that was, you know, in my mind it was like the writer's voice saying, see, your editor sent something back saying that we should have done this, and if you had done what I said to do, then we would already be there and they wouldn't be bitching at us. So I love, you know, for me, like I said, this is how I look at it. Russell and I, we've talked very briefly. Really nice dude. Love what he's doing right now. But I don't know where his head was at when he wrote this, but that's just where I see it, and kind of where it took me. And I think that's the amazing thing about good writing, is that good writing, or any kind of amazing art, can take you further away from the original intentions. And that's a good thing, because it means that we're projecting a piece of ourselves onto it. And I feel like if you truly enjoy something, you truly love something, that's what you do. So what happened was Ichabod Jones, there was 4 issues. They happened, they were really good. And something happened in the end where it felt like it was done. And by popular demand, he came back and he made this 5th issue. And I believe we're going to do 5, 6, 7, 8. And then do another, he's going to have another graphic novel. So really excited to see that happening. I would love for you guys to all jump on his Kickstarter and check it out, because it really is a good book. I really did enjoy it a lot. If you haven't read any of them, then pick up all of them. You know, get the graphic novel, get the physical. If you already have the graphic novel, what the fuck? How have you not gotten this yet? How are you not waiting for this? You know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine reading those first 4 and then being like, okay, I'm good. I don't need to know what happens afterwards. No, I fell in love with the characters. For the most part, it's Ichabod and the voice. We don't know anything about the voice. I'm very interested to see what comes of that, and I will be sticking around because it was uber cool. So that's where I'm at. The other thing, of course, I always often forget to talk about the art. But I really love what Renzo Podesta did. I also like, because the original was done, I think like 4 or 5 years ago, you can see the growth. Now, it's not, you know, jarring or anything like that. You can just see that Renzo has grown, and that there really is kind of a, he still has that kind of same style and the same look to everything, and yet there's kind of a crispness that comes with it, and there's a beauty. And so Renzo, you've definitely grown, and this is not a negativity on the previous book. This is just saying that it happened, and that's a beautiful thing to be able to witness. And so being able to watch that over this short period of time, it's really nice. So well done, both of you. You guys have done just an amazing job. I really like it a lot. I definitely suggest it. And down the road, if you've missed out on the Kickstarter, which, dude, really, that's some weak shit. If you missed out on the Kickstarter, that's okay. You can always check out Wannabe Press, and I'm sure they can get you some amazing books. Thank you so much, guys. Always love having you here. Really enjoyed the book an awful lot. I really think you guys need to check it out and enjoy it. As always, from me to you, peace, love, and comics. Mwah.